and welcome to BeanTalk. I'm your host, Leni, and I am really excited to start this journey with you. The idea was to create a weekly coffee news channel, and for this first show we've invited the person who had the idea, our creator, Günther Stöllner, here to talk with us. And he's been in the coffee business for a really long time, so I'm sure he has lots to say. Hi, I'm really glad you could join us today. Welcome to the studio.
Hi Leni, thank you for inviting me.
So you've been in the coffee business for a really long time, right?
Yes, I'm really working a long time in the coffee business.
So do you maybe want to tell our viewers what it is that you do?
So I start in 1990. I have the opportunity to visit Gruppo Cimbali in Milan, and it was amazing for me to see all the inspiration and the technology which are working in the coffee business, and it gripped me. And since this time I'm fascinated in the coffee, and I haven't lost this fascination since.
That's great. It's amazing if you can find something that you enjoy so much. I'm sure you've had a lot of coffee to drink in your life. Do you maybe want to share the story of the first significant cup of coffee you've ever had?
Yes, yeah. I remember my first cup of coffee. It was in the house of my grandma, and yeah, it was black, bitter, and I didn't like my first coffee.
So that wasn't so great?
No, it wasn't so great, but I still remember on my first good cup of coffee. So I think I was about 16. I go with my Vespa. I went with my Vespa to the port of Italy and with my friends, and after some kilometers in Italy we found a cafeteria and I got my first cup of perfect Italian cappuccino. And yeah, this was the first good cup of coffee I remember.
Yeah. Is a cappuccino still your favorite coffee drink?
No, it's not my favorite coffee drink. But I think young people, or most of the people, will start with a cappuccino to like coffee.
True. Yeah, it's the same for me as well. Now I don't really like it anymore if it has milk in it. Well, anyways, so you've been working with coffee for a really long time, and now you've had the idea to create this channel. Tell us a little bit how that came about. How did you come up with this idea, and why now?
So I have to go back a little bit, because in 1992 I have an opportunity to make a coffee course in Trieste by Illy Coffee, and it was really amazing. So Ernesto Illy himself made the course, and yeah, it was fascinating for me to listen to this person talking about coffee. And since this time I know that this is my fascination. When I come back, half a year later, I start with the first coffee course in Austria. So I worked in the coffee business. I trained people to make the real, to work on the coffee machine and make a good cup of coffee. As you knew, 5-6 years ago, I had the idea and I started with the Vienna Coffee Festival. And I realized how many people are interested in coffee. It was really amazing what the people want to know, and the people also know about coffee. And I thought it can be cool to make a sort of weekly coffee news. And yeah, and we have to create yes, and we have to create a platform where we can learn the people and show the people what means a good cup of coffee, and what is around this big, amazing business, and what is around coffee to learn and to know. And this is why I had the idea, and I'm very happy that I have you as our host here, and we can start with this news channel.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We're all really excited. Coffee is such a broad and fascinating subject, and there is so much that goes into a single cup of coffee. So it offers us a lot of opportunity for a lot of talks. So what's your goal with this show? What is there maybe something you, a message you hope this platform, this channel gets out there, or some sort of goal you had in mind when you created this?
I would love it if through BeanTalk we could raise awareness, the hard work which have the farmer and the barista to get a good cup of coffee. It's really amazing which hard work is behind of a quality in the cup. And if our show could raise the appreciation to our viewers, I'm more than happy.
I'd be really happy too if our little show here could achieve that. That would be great. Thank you for stopping by and having a little chat with us. And I'm sure I'll see you soon again on that couch, and have a nice day.
Thank you, Leni, and I hope we see you soon, and goodbye.
Bye.
All the best for you.
Thank you. Our show is split up into 4 categories. That would be the botanics, where we'll talk about all things coffee plants and the way the little bean has to go before we can actually try it and have a cup of coffee. Then we will also chat about methods of preparation, so all the things you can do with a shot of espresso, but also how many different ways there are to brew a filter coffee. But in this segment, we also want to open up a coffee machine, figuratively speaking, and look at the differences between a traditional coffee machine and a fully automatic coffee machine. Then we would hope to always present you with a little story, whether that's a portrait of a roaster or somebody who's been working in the coffee business for a really long time, or a restaurant, or if we just, together with our coffee expert, cup a couple of different blends here in the studio and chat about them. And the last segment, which is our weekly coffee news, is where you, dear viewers, come into play, where we will present you with innovations and all the news and everything that has happened this week in the coffee world. And if you find yourself gripped or interested by a certain topic, just drop it in the comments and we'll try to take a closer look at that in one of our next shows. And lastly, we have another guest with us here today in the studio. His name is Benjamin Graf. He's our coffee expert, and we will very much enjoy picking his brain about all things coffee. And he will join us quite a lot here in the studio, probably in the future, especially when we're talking about botanics. And I would like to welcome him. Hi, welcome to the studio. I'm really glad you could join us today. You are our coffee expert.
Hello Leni, thank you for having me here, and I'm very glad to talk to you now.
Do you maybe want to tell our viewers in a couple of words what your daily job is, what it is that you do, what makes you our coffee expert?
So, hello, my name is Benjamin and I'm in charge for the MUMAC Academy in Austria. I do trainings, barista courses, and I teach people how to make coffee better. That's what I do, and that's what I love, and that's what I'm here for. So
a MUMAC Academy, for those of us who don't know, is a training center?
So the MUMAC is a coffee machine museum. It's based in Milan, and when the people made the MUMAC, they thought about making an academy. So now we have about 9 coffee academies in the world, 9 MUMAC coffee academies in the world, with a lot of barista trainers, and we work together and try to make coffee better. Yeah.
Okay, so basically you talk about coffee all day. You know a lot about coffee, hence you are our expert on this show. What is it about coffee that fascinates you so much that you always try to gain new knowledge about it?
So it started with latte art. I just wanted to be able to do a heart in a coffee with milk, because I had a girlfriend at the time, and it looks super fancy, and it looks very good, and it also tastes good. So the beginning was latte art. I wanted to do latte art. Then I drank a coffee, that was not bitter, but it was fruity. And I asked the barista, why the hell does this coffee taste fruity? Well, what is it? What have you put inside? And he just said, that's just coffee. It's how coffee tastes. And I wanted to know more about it, and the deeper I go into this coffee world, the complexer it gets. And this is what fascinates me. The whole coffee world is so complex, and yeah, that's amazing. I love it.
Mm-hmm. It really is fascinating. I don't know that much, but it is amazing how much goes into a single cup of coffee, and I'm very much looking forward to picking your brain about all things coffee. So, as you know, as everyone knows, we're stuck in a really peculiar situation where we don't get to travel and don't really get to see other places, and it's still cold here in Austria. It's starting to get warm, but we're still somewhere at the end of winter, and you've done a lot of travel into to coffee places, to different countries that grow coffee. Tell us a little bit about what it feels like to stand on a field.
It's just stunning. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I will always remember the first coffee cherry that I tasted. It tastes so fruity and sweet and honey-like. It was absolutely amazing. And what drove me to go there to Origin and see coffee plantations was I wanted to know how it's really, what is behind everything that's is said in the books, and what is right, what is wrong. And a few years ago I went to Panama, and then to Nicaragua, and this year in February I was in Costa Rica. I just want to see how it really is.
Yeah, I think that's also something we're going to chat a little bit about in the coming shows, what the difference is between what you read in a book and how it is when you're actually really there at the point of origin.
What's also so interesting is it's changing so fast. So what I learned 2 years ago in Nicaragua, for example, this year it changed completely. So the knowledge about coffee is expanding in a very fast rate, and yeah, that's just amazing. You know, it's beautiful.
All right, that's about the end of our time. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to having loads of conversations about coffee with you, and for you to share your knowledge with us. And thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me here, and have a nice day.
Bye. I also want to introduce you to our coffee dog. That's Emi. He will also always be joining us, right? And he's a really, really good boy. Thank you very much for tuning in to our first show. I'm very much looking forward to doing this again with you next week and all the weeks after that. Having a little chat about coffee. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Drink loads of great coffee and see you soon. Say bye, Amy. Say bye. Bye-bye. Bye.